Investment with Justice, Policy Recommendations for 3&1C. Hello, everyone. My name is Jasmine Barnes. Investment with Justice, Policy Recommendations for 3&1C. Hello, everyone. My name is Jasmine Barnwell, and I'm presenting today with Becca Pilch, Donald Alexis, and Leah Granum. I'd also like to mention and pay tribute to our advisor, Professor Ted Landsmark. Thank you all for being here. 3&1C, 3 neighborhoods, 1 community. They are a coalition that consists of the neighborhoods Angel, Jackson Hill, and McLaughlin, where African-American populations are the highest, and they are at the highest risk of being vulnerable to the negative effects of gentrification in the city of Muskegon. 3&1C are not only advocates, but are trusted members of these communities. Their status of their reputation within the community has evolved over the course of this research in collaboration with our team. They have become more of a catalyst group where they offer additional input into other issues impacting their community. These are the 3 neighborhoods that we will focus on throughout our presentation.
For our analytical approach, our team provides contextual background between conventional zoning and form-based codes. Conventional zoning, otherwise known as traditional or residential, focus primarily on the land, preserving open space, maintaining that single-family residential appearance, seen pictured at the bottom as R40. Form-based codes differ from traditional zoning, pictured at the bottom as well, by promoting a mixed-use building design, maintaining the community landscape, while also implementing a more urban feel. Conventional zoning does not currently offer these 3 neighborhoods the economic investment they need. Therefore, our team has proposed if form-based is instituted, then the city and developers must include strategies that include, but are not limited to the following: adopt with regulation, community process, 3&1C input, and economic investment.
The policy recommendations our team came up with will ultimately prepare the The policy recommendations our team came up with will ultimately prepare the 3 neighborhoods to compete for new federal funding, including infrastructure investment and key economic benefits and wealth creation goals based on data, interviews and surveys, and qualitative analysis of form-based zoning. Furthermore, these 3 neighborhoods represent the highest population of people of color in Muskegon and are at higher risk of being susceptible to the negative effects of gentrification. Therefore, it is imperative that there is investment with justice. The recommendations are first to establish a land bank through public-private partnership so that the community's valued assets are in the hands of the communities. Second, to establish a task force through the mayor's office. Third, as a form of anti-displacement policy, recommend that 3N1C uses a community benefits agreement with developers. Fourth, provide equitable access to housing for low and middle income residents and provide affordable commercial development through a housing production plan, commercial linkage fees, opportunity funds, and land trust. And fifth, preserve affordable housing through programs like TOPA and COPA.
Within 10 minutes walking distance, where you don't have to take a car to go a couple miles away. Would that be nice? Would that be something useful to you? Okay, so how can that if we're going to get additional, new units, can we have like a small node? So they become very popular now. Small nodes, small commercial node where where like so you have neighborhood commercial, you have everything you need for you to live your day-to-day life without taking a car and go far. I'm coming from a place with a lot of public transportation. One thing I learned here quickly, there's not enough public transportation. So if somebody doesn't have to own a car, his neighborhood is walkable. There's good sidewalk. There's a park. There is all the amenities you need from going to a gym, going to a bar. Everything is nearby. Would that make your life better? Yeah. So I think this is where I come from, the idea of a CBA, So if you're going to negotiate, how are you going to negotiate for new zoning? You know what I mean? So again, that's open all of you here, and to N1C to, to figure that out. And the next piece we look at it to say a housing stability plan, which you alluded to. So I know there's a lot of social services currently offered either by the city or nonprofit, but can we look at them over again to see how well they're running, how well people know about them, what more could add to it? Because if I'm about to become homeless, who can I go to, or how many people can I go to that can help me out? So that could be also one recommendation that you guys take a look at it as part of the whole planning process. So I don't want it to be just, well, let's again, I have to be very careful. So we don't think it's all, well, let's just rezone, but it's how can we rezone and add it what's not there. So if you're going to get more congestion with traffic, new people moving in, which is great. We all can enjoy like a new neighbor, so, but how you can use that to make your life better. And I think the third recommendation was a lot of you here are homeowners. It's how you can probably, it could be cheaper to create more affordable housing if residents, whatever support they need, whatever zoning they need, to add to the existing unit as soon as that unit becomes affordable to somebody living there. Like, again, part of our job was not to do the market study to know how feasible it is or not, but could it be something, look at it. So they call them ADU, access dwelling units. So how can you add to your existing structure and that unit will be affordable to current residents? So, so that's another way we could preserve, affordable housing. And the land trust one, again, I asked 301C to talk to a lawyer because we're not a lawyer, so those will be questions that must answer with a local lawyer to see how land trust can create locally. But we think because the city has a lot of vacant lot, so for the community to have ownership of them or actually have a say on them. So I think that would be something that could turn to be useful to local activists or local developer that want to build something. And I'm gonna go out of my way to say, a lot of time you hear city and towns say that, oh, there's not enough local developer. I went to school for computer science. I had no business to be a developer. But I think a lot of time you can be a little bit more thoughtful, on building the next generation of developer, local developer. It costs money, obviously, but there's a lot of opportunities out there where you can use existing land, to a land trust or land bank to actually use those, package them so that a local developer can actually look at create some local wealth too. So I think that's how we look at this: is how the current asset the city own, people's asset, how you can transform those to benefit residents. Because for the past 30, 40 years, the city greatest asset has been you, homeowners. You pay taxes, you contribute to the livelihood of the community. So why not, if there's a benefit coming to the city, how can you, your grandkids, your kids and grandkids can be part of? So I think that's how we look at, if you create a plan for investing with justice, this is how you can look at it to actually make it work for you and for new people coming in. And the last one, which is TOPA, which is a Tenant Option to Purchase Act. Again, this report will need to have a follow-up on how those can actually implement it. That'll be, again, on you that's here tonight that work with 21C. If you liked it, on how you can go out and advocate for it to turn it, to turn into reality. Can you move forward? I think you skipped something.
Affordable housing through programs like TOPA and COPA.
Okay.
Throughout the years, private capital have escaped those two neighborhoods. The residents have been the strongest and largest investors to homeownership, starting small businesses, and run social programs. Our policy recommendations are for the city and the county to work hand in hand with residents of Angel, Jackson Hill, and McLaughlin to make sure that new investment maintain those neighborhood diversity while continuing to make those three neighborhoods a desirable place to live, work, and visit by emphasize on the strongest asset, which is the resident. Thank you.
So, no, you can leave it. Yeah. So, thank you for the clap, but we're not done yet. We're almost done. So, so right now, what I would like to ask anyone here, which one of the 5 policies you would like to see happen?
All of them are really great policies. I'm a real estate broker, been in real estate for 25 years. I remember a few years back, actually in the Jackson area. Sorry, would you mind coming to the mic, please?
Yeah. And Miss, I'm going to give you like 59 seconds. Yeah.
No, I won't even be there that long because I can talk. But there was a program years ago. I don't know if anybody remember this. It was very prevalent where they would allow people to do the tenant homeownership program. And as a real estate broker, actually, I sort of specialized in that for several years, closing about 60 to 80 deals a year, being one of the top agents, where I would help people rebuild their credit when they lived in houses and were renting it. And then after their credit got better, they could either purchase that property or either go purchase something else if they chose to. And I think inspiring people again to do that would be really awesome. I'd like to see our community do that.
Okay.
Mr. Briggs, would you mind coming up to the mic, please?
We I think I speak loud enough for everybody. Thank Hello, everybody. My name is Rudy Briggs. I'm a part of the Jackson Hill Development, working with the city of Muskegon, and we have, and I've been fortunate and blessed greatly to be a part of that program. And the question is, I just wanted to give you a little information on what I do. I'm a developer and a contractor, licensed contractor been licensed since 1995. Just a little background. But you asked the question about what are the 5 things we wanted to see happen in our community. And the one that I take the most part of is to make use of a community benefits agreement.
Okay.
That's just my uh, caveat to developing and making sure that making sure that everybody has been serviced, that we're all a part of the community. So we should be inclusive and not exclusive, and we should not exclude but include. That's Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for your feedback. I think we can take one more or two more. Anybody that want to speak to?
Hi, I'm Nicholas Budimir. I would like to see, I teach at Muskegon Community College. I'd like to see our zoning restrictions changed because, sorry, suburbia is killing us.
One more? Oh, we're done. Okay. Come on, Paul.
Hi, I'm Aaron Bodbaugh Mass. We're members of Our Lady of Grace Parish over here, and Catholics acting on social teaching. I'd like to see land trusts. I think that would really help with affordability to take land value, put it all in the house, and not have land speculation drive up values and price people out.
Okay, thank you. Oh, come on over. Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
I'm Jamie Cross. I'm actually from the Nelson neighborhood. I've been doing a lot with shoreline access, particularly public access and development. I think the task force is really critical. Having a checks and balance, people from the community that represent the community that can talk about what the needs of the community are and what they would like to see happen in their community. I think that is just number one.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. I have to say, one time when I came here, Jimmy was very gracious with her time to give me the tour of the shore. Thank you, Jimmy. One more? Of course, ma'am. Oh, 2 more. Oh, 3 more. Well, come on. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
It'll be 1, 2, 3, and then yeah.
I was a resident of Muskegon, downtown Muskegon for quite a while, and I just moved into the Heights, and I'm not used to talking in public, but what I'm hearing is, like you said from the beginning, it's going on everywhere, and what's mind-boggling to me since COVID, all these funds that the federal government is putting out and distributing out, where is this money? Why isn't this money being used for homelessness? And I know several people that are homeless now, and all of them is under different circumstances. But the bottom line is they're homeless. And even dealing with one organization, they told me, well, you got to prove you're homeless. And okay, what do I do? Well, I'm sleeping in my car. What parking lot are you sleeping in? You have to go to the owner of the building, and for them to prove that you're homeless, sleeping in a parking lot. So it's stuff like that that make people that's senseless, but it makes people. I ain't got time to be bothered with that. You know, as an individual, a lot of people have their own different reasons. But from what I'm seeing, is it's gonna take all the communities to get involved. I'm not used to being involved because I've been back and forth, but I've been trying to find somewhere to volunteer some time where everybody would benefit. And so my name is on the list.
Yes, 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 yes.
But I personally, I think it will behoove all of us to take a stop and take a inside look at yourself and see what is it that you want, and to know and realize that we, not just one person, we have the power, because that's what it's all about. I don't care what you talk about in this world, in this city, it's all about power. And we have the power. We just got to exercise.
Well, thank you, thank you. So Maria, so I just get you a new volunteer, you know. So there you go. Yes, sir. Yeah.
I'm not sure which one this fall under, but when you talk about a walkable community and having stores and restaurants and businesses around, I think that's important. But it's even more important that those businesses and their services reflect me. When you look at the lakeshore and all the development, you don't see a whole lot of businesses that are owned by Black and brown bodies. Or you don't have businesses that service the Jackson Hill community area. So I would like to see more businesses owned by Black and brown bodies that serve our needs around the community.
Okay. So just to let people know, thank you, good comment. So we have a final slide that go to some recommendation that's not part of the report, that just a thought, you know. So that will be included in that. So yeah, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Pam Red.
Hi, Pam.
I want to know why was Nelson neighborhood not included, and if it wasn't, is it because it's already gentrification, fine, or whatever? Because I'm in Nelson neighborhood, and I feel like I should be included in with the other three. I don't know. I'm sitting up here listening about all this wonderful stuff, and I'm next door. Okay, so why am I not getting that same deal?
So let me how to they hit for Maria. So I think the only reason those three neighborhoods so was the focus is because those were the ones that announced by the city to rezone.
That's why I want to know why it was just those three and Nelson is not included. You probably can't answer that. I don't know.
Nelson was actually the pilot program neighborhood, so they're already rezoned. That's why you see it all that, exactly. That's why you see it all that gentrification. Because they were the pilot program for this. And our question was, when you have a 5% decrease between the census years for Black and brown people in that area, and nobody asked questions, what, a flying purple people either come down and snatch them up, or a crater open up and swallow them in? Nobody cared. Nobody asked the question. But that's why we are here, to ask those questions.
Yeah.
Get those answers, work together.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't come up, we can't hear you.
Hello. How you doing? Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't realize that.
No, that's one reason why I got so involved with this project, Maria, because I believed in it. I'm not crazy about all the changes that took place or how they took place in Nelson neighborhood. I live next to a lot of the developments with no decision making. I moved in during COVID. I also live by a lot of elderly Black people because I kind of wanted to do a little thing with my neighbors, because we're getting all older and we share phone numbers. And their comments were is they do feel like they're being driven out. So that's why. So yes, I'm from Nelson. I agree totally with you, but that's why I wanted to support the other neighborhoods.
No, thank you, thank you. From what I'm hearing, there's a need to open the umbrella, make it bigger. You know, uh, um, I'm sure this is a big tent. Everybody's welcome. You know, so that's why we're here tonight. And I'll leave that to the ED for Threads to speak to that. But just to wrap up, because I know so we told people 8 o'clock, so just want to respect people's time. Can you go to the slide for me, please? Yeah. Yeah, this one. Yep. No, go up, go up, go up. Will be the second one. Will be the third one. Oh, second. Third one. Third one. Yep. Yep. Please. Yeah. Can you put it? Huh? Why this was important? Yeah. Oh, oh. Oh, I'm sorry. No can even see it. So, yeah. So, just to summarize everything you guys just talk about, you know, again, I think as the first report that was just Jackson Hill happened in 2020 with the former mayor, and with 3-in-1C go back to get a second report done. So I think there's a need, you know, there's a movement, you know, going that more people want to be part of it. They want to make sure their voice is heard, you know. So I think, huh? Oh, so that's one of the reasons why I didn't go into like into the demographic and all that, because I know those things we can get caught up into like numbers, but actually what can we do together? What can we work together? And I think the key will be working on the policies together, you know, how we can bring something to the table, how we can work on the task force, how we can work on CBA, how we can work on this to make it real, you know. And oh, you're skipping cover side. Can you go back up, please? Yeah. All right. So I think we want to talk about why this report is important. It's really to set the stage, you know, for the long-term equitable growth of Muskegon. That's all it is. Like, you know, I mean, so just starting the conversation, and as we start the conversation, everybody bringing something that will create a better community for all. If we go to the vision, the vision of the, you know, the vision of our report was like to strengthen the existing culture and stability of the community, you know, by supporting affordable housing, creating opportunity for businesses to thrive, and also by improving experience to jobs and opportunity. Because ultimately, if you cannot afford to live here, you're gonna have to push out. You know, so I think like affordable housing, as an affordable housing developer myself, affordable housing is not the solution. You're never gonna build enough housing for everyone. But if everyone got a decent job or a good job, they can go ahead and buy something for themselves. You know, and that's how you pass wealth to. You know, so if you don't own, you cannot pass it to your children. You know, so I think jobs is very important. You know, so as we're looking at bringing new people, you don't want to be a bedroom community. People just come in here, live and sleep. You know, it's if you get a chance to work with the state, with other individuals, it's how you look at bringing major employee here that can support all of you here and people that's not here tonight. And the next one, please. Well, quicker if I do. All right, so we think of our report got four major goals. You know, the first goal, I spoke to it already, it's equity and environmental justice. You know, that's not part of the plan. I'm not going to talk about environmental justice, But I think this is something as we're looking to grow, should be look very careful on what type of access we have to our waterfront. So a park, climate resiliency, how we're looking at building for the next 20, 30 years. And obviously something that everybody it's in everyone's mind, which is housing. So it's really have diverse housing options and then increasing affordable housing. And the other one is it's really growth to support local economies and increase access to opportunities. It's about jobs. As Bill Clinton said one time, it's economy stupid. If you don't have jobs, you cannot pay your bills, you cannot pay your car bills, you cannot live. And the last one will be, so that part of the whole CBA on how you're looking at create a community that fits you, that avoid pushing more people than you have to, so that you can create a community that keeps its identity. You don't want to be back here 20 years ago, or 20 years from now, you say, oh, that used to be a place of black and brown, but where they are now, they're all over the place. So I think, looking at create identity that reflects your vision, your needs, should be talking about, So, and the last one? All right, those are final thoughts, So again, that's not part of the report. It's us coming together and bring some ideas, That's why we talk about the 10 minutes neighborhoods, So we think any new zoning, should be looking at like, okay, how you bring small commercial, maybe small businesses, small employers, you know what I mean? So how you can encourage people to drive less, because it costs money to have a car, So if like, if you already struggle to live, you have a car, you have another bill, So, but a bike might be cheaper, even though the weather here is not that friendly all the time, But I think definitely having 10 minutes neighborhoods where everything's around you, it's great. You don't have to only go to downtown, to have a nice coffee shop and, a nice gym. So you can have it on your own neighborhood, And again, if you have the critical mass, because the next question will be, who's going to go to those businesses? But if you have enough people, you have enough business, Also with great sidewalk, where people can walk, with lighting, But again, all cannot be on the city, to be fair. I mean? So somebody have to come in also, those developers coming in, bringing like new residency to put lighting to do the sidewalk, So it has to be a relationship, It has to be like a partnership. Look at the way. I talked about that already. So a lot of homeowners, Jackson Hill has the highest homeowners in the city. Okay, in black and brown community, I'm sorry. So how can we add more to that, because it will be cheaper to build those units, versus and just create something from ground up. And then lastly, open space. With COVID, we all know how open space means so much to us. So not only have open space, but activate the open space. Where it's friend, where it's inviting, where people can go there, but also people should keep it clean. So it cannot be all on the city. I'm going to be fair, what I mean. So people have to keep it clean too, So but having more open space that inviting, people can go in the park. Don't put, Pastor Hoff, give me a tour of Angel and one of the park. It's like, I'm like, how somebody get to the park? What I mean? So it's really impossible to get there. It has to be somewhere that's walkable. I can get there. The one that's next to the school. That one, yeah. So how you can create green space that's accessible and inviting and whatnot. So those are our final thoughts. I would say because time is short, I can take 3 questions, and then I'm gonna pass it over to Maria if there's questions. Yes, ma'am. I've been back here like 5 times, or 4 or 5 times, you know. Any question? Any question? Yes, ma'am. Your name? Jasmine. Please. Yeah.
I'm just here as a resident. Just to make that clear, considering your studies with Northeastern University, have you saw communities that look like the neighborhoods in City of Muskegon and some of those 5 things that you recommended, how they've worked in other cities? Like, is there other cities where this has been a problem and solutions working along with the city and public-private partnerships that you can speak to?
Yes. But again, we have to be very mindful because there's not 2 cities alike. You know, every city is different, you know. But in my own backyard in Boston, so Mattapan, you can research Mattapan, is a 29,000 resident, is and was the poorest neighborhood of Boston, you know. And then on 2012, 2013, there's a lot of shootings and whatnot. And Mattapan never make it to 6 p.m. news for a good thing. If you see Mattapan at the 6 p.m. news, you better believe something won't go in there, you know. But the residents start meeting once a month, so they create something called Mattapan United. So they coming in first, they go after the kids, you know, the children, you know. If you're a working family, you know, mom and dad go to job, you know, the kids up to no good. A lot of time they get to trouble. So first, their plan was to go after kids, you know, make sure that the kids, you know, either stay at the library or go to after school program. So they start putting money together. Like, you know, I mean, I said this is one of the poorest community, but people find $5, $10 put together and start reusing church, you know, church basement, you know, get kids there, get somebody with a license, like a church license, to care for the kids, you know. And then the other thing, they start bringing their elected officials, say, hey, you know, how you bring jobs there? You know, how you do this? You know what I mean? So in 5 years, you see the difference, you know, because elected officials start running scared because they know that people, every time they see you, they keep asking the same question. You know what I mean? So when my cycle going to be paid? When this is going to happen? When that going to happen? You know, at times it can get a little bit not that friendly, but I think overall it turned to be, so now Mattapan is the fastest growing neighborhood in Boston, you know, and yeah, they have built more affordable housing than any other neighborhoods of Boston. Because why? Because they have a lot of home ownership there, you know, and they have a lot of land. That helps, you know. But also, why not? The conversation is we just had a meeting with the mayor, a committee meeting last Saturday with the mayor. Is we need 9,000 jobs coming to that area. You know what I mean? So if we bring 10,000 people, they have to go to work. You know, if they cannot go to work, they have to jump on a bus, jump on a car to go to downtown. That creates more traffic. You know, now the next conversation is about jobs. You know, yes, it does happen. I'm taking that happen, but I think, you know, nationwide, there's many cities, it can happen. But all start with everyone talking, you know, speaking with the same idea, want the same thing. And the last question? Of course. How's it going? When you can get the report?
All right, that's a great question. So, like Mr. Alexis said, initially when we started off with commissioning Northeastern University, we started off with one singular goal. We didn't know exactly where we were going from there. Since then, there have been several different rollouts from a federal level, from a state level. And so as we move forward, we decided to make sure that the main points of the study were brought to the community. But as a community, we have to maintain our community assets and our intellectual property, so to speak. So it is a component is owned by Threads, which is owned by the community. So we're going to hold on to that. You've got the meat and potatoes of it. We're going to use that ongoing with the points to roll out, working with the community and seeing what the strategic plan is for the community and what they want to see as it relates to the study moving forward, as opposed to just handing over that to another entity. So at this time, I want to again thank everybody, but I need to roll through a few things. So at the commission meeting, we announced the task force. So at the back table.
Are you done with me?
Huh?
Are you done with me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I want to thank you, Mr. Donald Alexis. Give him a hand. Yeah.
Right.
You did it.
Okay.
As always.
No. So, my last word, I want to say thank you to everyone for coming. You could be anywhere tonight, but you make it here. That's wonderful. Hope to see you guys again. This is the beginning. Stay engaged and remember the pledge. So we're going to help 3N1C and Threads being, the next good organization in the city. Thank you.
Okay. So at the last commission meeting, we announced the task force. That task force consists of everybody that's in this room. At the back table out there, there's a sign-up sheet, a volunteer sheet, so that you can become a part of that. Again, we're a 70-30 model. If we don't have your input, if we don't have what you want to say, if you're not standing up with us, we can't do our job. So again, that task force, and then we're going to be connecting with the city's office and also the mayor's office as well to make sure that they're part of it. But unlike a lot of different organizations, it's not going to be organizational based. You're not going to have an advisory board made up of all senior level advisors. That's why we have the engagement, community engagement department, 3N1C, because that's pretty much all community members a part of that board. And then next, also we're asking for donations. If you need a receipt, we can definitely get that to you. It is tax deductible. I want to let you know that too. So you can give a large amount. You can give a large amount. Also, we talked about volunteers, and then also the petition is on the back table out there for Fisherman's Landing and some of the other potential conversion sites in the city. If we don't start taking ownership of our own assets within our community, it's monopoly, y'all. And we've been getting outplayed for a very long time. And it's time out for that. So please, everybody in this room, please, that back table back there, we need your signatures. So first of all, let me honor the board members that are in the house right now. First we have Mrs. Blanche Smith. Would you mind standing? And we have Mrs. Billy Thomas. Mr. John Lester. Pastor Randy Vanderwhite, I think he stepped into the hallway, but he's running around. Oh, there he is. Mr. Randy Vanderwhite. And then on in Zoom land. So first we have Mrs. Gloria White Gardner joining us from Maryland. And then we have Dr. Dale Nesberry as well. And I think he's in Maryland as well. So Mrs. Gloria White Gardner, she's going to give a couple comments, and then she's going to turn it over to Dr. Nesberry, and then we're going to do the giveaway. All right? $300 cash to somebody today.
Thank you, Maria, and good evening, everyone. It's so good to see you and to join you all this evening. Sorry that I had some difficulties earlier trying to sign on, but just let me say that being in Muskegon County and Muskegon Heights in particular, since 1942, when my parents came there, And having been so active in the engagement of the community, I could not say no when Maria asked if I would join this group being on the board. And I thought about it and I said, how can I say no? Because I encouraged her from ninth grade on when she was part of the Urban League of Greater Muskegon New Lighters. I've always said, be engaged, be involved. You can't live in a city and not be involved. So here I am again being involved and not not that different from what's going on out here in Montgomery County, Maryland. So, my words of encouragement for you all this evening is to be involved, stay engaged, work with the various partners and supporters, and just know that from afar, I'm still going to be reaching out there at home, my first home, to encourage partnerships with a lot of entities there in Muskegon, and most of all supporting my dear friend Blanche and John and Miss Thomas, meeting her and others that are on the board. So thank you so very much for, I'm honored to be involved. And so, Dr. Nesberry.
Ms. Maria White Gardner, thank you very much. I also am honored to be involved and to have been asked to be involved, because indeed the groups that are involved here, the neighborhood associations, the members of the audience, many of whom I do know, and members of Northeastern University's community, having them out to help us move forward in this initiative is very important. I will share that some of you know a little bit about me, but something that you may not know is before I was college president guy, I was a longtime political science professor and public administration professor in Michigan, and before that, working with the city of Boston, where I was finishing a PhD at Northeastern University. So I was thrilled to see that they were involved with the city, with the neighborhood associations, with I should say Maria McIntosh's intense desires to move this initiative forward. It really does make a difference, and it's one of the things that caused me from 744 miles away. I'm now in Charles County, Maryland, just south of where Gloria White Gardner is. But I'm still stay in touch with folks in Michigan, and I will do that for the rest of my life. I'd also specifically note that I would like for everyone in this audience and everyone involved here to keep in mind that you're driving this initiative. This is not something that the city or the county or the state asked you to do. You saw an issue and you moved it forward. You brought Mr. Alexis in to help move this forward, knowing the programs that he worked with when he was at Northeastern, what he's doing, wonderful work in Boston where I lived for 8 years. That is what needs to take place. Everyone needs to move this forward, and if things don't occur in the way that you want them to occur, you have one powerful tool, and that is to vote. Whenever I get sideways with, I'll say, folks within my sphere of influence, it's because I'm very pointed in terms of what I believe needs to happen. And if something's not moving in the direction that I believe and that I know that people believe, then I'll make that clear. But hey, sometimes you get sideways with people, but my guy usually wins. So having run many campaigns in my career, I'll stay involved. I'll say that. But thank you, Gloria, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Maria, for arranging this wonderful event, and thank you to Reverend Dr. Poole. Boy, I tell you, one of my heroes growing up, for allowing us to use this wonderful and appropriate venue for this event. So, back to you, Maria.
So thank you to everyone. Dr. Nesberry took the words right out of my mouth. So we want to honor the man of this house, Dr. Poole. He couldn't be here with us today, but he is definitely one of our executive board members. And I pray when I get my 90s, baby, if I can move like him, I'll be back 1 million. And so we're just thankful to have him, honored to have this incredible board, and in the community and everybody who is here and who is taking part. So without further ado, it's time for the drawing. So we're gonna bring Mrs. Blanche Smith up, and she's gonna give some remarks. And I'm gonna go grab the check, and we're gonna bring the rest of the board up that's here to stand behind her.
Thank you, Maria. Yeah, I guess. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And Maria got me out of retirement. I said, no more boards, no more. God said, shut up. I'm in charge. And this is the one. This is the right one. Everybody going to get together here. Nelson neighborhood and everybody else. So thank you for that. I have money though. Look at that. Okay, I was waiting to make sure that my relatives, I see some of them here that they got the name in. I was gonna wait for them. Okay. Did you get Rita? Where's Rita? You got your name in? I better not pull your name in. Well, gee. So are we ready? Okay. I really need a guys. Thank you very much. Well, you got. Okay. What y'all gonna hold? No, okay. 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 Where's the little man? Come on, the young man that was coming. Yeah. Brian's son, grandson, son. Brandon? Who? Your name Brandon? Okay, I didn't think so. Come on, Brian. Okay, Brian's gonna do the honors. You're gonna take one out, and it can't be your dad's name. Oh, he said, let's just get with it.
Charlotte Johnson.
All right, say it really loud.
Charlotte Johnson.
Charlotte Johnson. Charlotte Johnson. Oh, beg your pardon? She was here?
Actually, she still seems to be online.
You have to be here, right?
Yeah. She's on Zoom.
Oh, she's online? Oh. Oh, we'll be right over. Charlotte? Oh, what's your address? We'll be right over there. Charlotte Johnson. All right. We almost got it. Somebody else. Okay, so is that it?
Maybe we should stand underneath the
Go over there where you can see. The Zoom.
their spotlighter.
Is she up there? Oh, you saw her? Oh.
She's here. She's just not on video. But Charlotte, can you talk?
Take it off. Okay, so where are we with this? That's her though, right? Did you say her husband is here or somebody? If her husband was here, he'd be up here, I'm sure, by now. Yeah. Hold it up a little bit.
Miss Smith.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Is she on there? Okay. Okay. Well, congratulations to Charlotte Johnson. Charlotte Johnson. Hi. Charlotte, can you see this? This bring some? I'll be right over. Okay, thank you, everybody. Wow. We'll give it back to the treasurer. Okay, so yeah.
Real quick, I will say that Miss Charlotte is, first of all, a resident of the McLaughlin neighborhood. Whoop, whoop. But Miss Charlotte is someone who has been a community activist forever. Yeah, she has petitioned in the past to keep McLaughlin Elementary School open. She has spoken and helped lead the YEP program at Community Encompass. She helped with the Catch Camp program, which is community acting towards children's health. She's helped with the downtown Christmas store, where parents can buy new gifts for their kids at a very reduced price. And she, I know, is now involved with WOW, I believe it's WIN. Okay, trying to get Black women, African American women into political positions. So, just want to let y'all know a little bit about Miss Charlotte.
Thank you, thank you. So last but definitely not least, our Threads board chairman, Mr. Lester. He's going to give us his closing remarks and the closing prayer, and then we're out of here. Also, I think we have a lot of pizza and stuff left over. We have some to-go plates. Take it to go.
Thank you, Larry. Before I offer our closing prayer, I want to kind of echo what Gloria Gardner said. I thought I was done serving on boards. I was on a credit union board. I had been on for about 20 years, and I thought, that's enough time. I'll get off of all these boards and play a lot of golf. And then Maria came along with this program, and I thought it was an excellent, excellent cause. I spent a lot of time with government on Planning Commission in Northern Shores, and you go to those meetings, I'm sure it's the same in Muskegon, and unless there's a big project going on, there's nobody there. So I think it's a wonderful idea if we can get people involved in government. They need to hear our voice when they have a meeting. And this is an excellent way to do that. So we need all of you all and your neighbors. Amen. All right. We are so sorry that Pastor Poole couldn't be here tonight. And he's certainly an inspiration for our board. All right. Let us all stand as I offer our closing prayer, please. Heavenly Father, we come before you with thankful hearts, Lord, that you blessed us to come together with these three communities in this city. We pray, Lord, that you bless us to include Nelson in this organization. Amen. There's plenty of work to do, and we need more workers. And we know that you're always in control, Lord. So we know that if we depend on you, that we will be successful. We just thank you, Lord, that you blessed all these people to come out tonight. They could have been doing something else, but we know that you're always in our plans, Lord, and we're so thankful for that. We ask your blessing on all these people and their families represented here tonight. We ask these blessings in Jesus' name.
requ-